Welcome to a FUNalysis of First and Texas District Championship Grand Finals match number 2. In this match, we have 148, 1600, and 1745 in red. 1600, the Alliance captain of the Apollo division. And we have 3847, 6824, and 7616, with 624 being the Alliance captain of the Mercury division. Red is up 1-0 in this match. They win another one. They're going to be our champions. Blue Alliance needs that win to stay alive. In this match, you're going to see some very interesting strategies played by both alliances here. Things get changed up from first finals match. And of course, many of you have seen the amazing tip over and then team up writing that happens in this match as well too of one of the robots. So let's dive in a bit more here on FUNalysis. Your destination for first content, updates, and gaming.
Welcome to the fun.
First Updates Now is supported by Stryker Careers. Stryker's commitment to medical device technology innovation has made it a top career destination for those in First. First alumni and mentors are given top priority in their internship and career applications. Come create the next medical innovation that saves lives at careers.stryker.com. If you are planning on attending the World Championship, come meet others in the Fun and FRC Discord community with our combined meetup on Friday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. local. Location will be announced closer to the event, and you can stay updated by following in either the Fun or FRC Discord. Starting off this match in Autonomous here. So Autonomous was quite interesting. Red able to take a 36-24 lead, but I want you to pay attention here in the last blue cargo that gets shot. You're going to see it coming out in just a second here. Right there. This blue piece of cargo. Watch as this goes in and watch the timing on this as well, as they're only going to get 2 points for this piece of cargo. Now we're going to pause in just a second here. Now, the way that the rule is written, if I'm interpreting it correctly, is that when the timer hits 130, that means 5 seconds have elapsed, and that cargo no longer counts as an autonomous cargo, but counts as a teleop piece and should only be worth 2 points. But here's the really interesting thing here. At 131, you're going to see the timer still at 131, and this go up to 24 and not 26. Well, it still says 131. Let's see if I can pause it. It's going to be a little tricky here. There. The timer still states 131, but blue score's only gone up by 2. Now, this is all FMS syncing, so it's not like there would be like a weird desync between, what the field is and what it actually says. These are both FMS features. So clearly there's a little bit of delay between that sensor sending the FMS or there's a weird desync or something like that. Now, this doesn't exactly, affect the match that happens, as many of you know the score of this already, but for the future, I hope this is something that does get correct, because even this little bit of time could make a big difference later on, especially at championships coming up here. Now let's talk about defense as we go on. You're going to see your 2 defensive robots are going to be 1745, and then on the other side, 7616, who's a little hidden right now, but we'll show them off. 1745 is actually going to play a zone defense on the far side of the field. This is where you'll see them go. And then 7616 is going to elect for most of the match to play defense now against 6800. In finals match number 1, they played defense against 148. Pretty unsuccessful at that, so they're going to mix it up a little bit, try to play some defense against 6800 instead. There were actually quite a few times, by the way, that the 2 defensive robots actually clash into each other instead of playing defense. And it is something to note that 1745 right over here, you'll see is holding 2 blue pieces of cargo. Try to take away a little bit more cargo. I was a little surprised not to see 7616 do this as well. Now, we're going to let it wind down to about 94 seconds here, and you'll notice that blue is actually going to take a pretty sizable Red's going to take a pretty sizable lead at this point, where they're going to be up 62-38. Spectrum does miss a couple shots here, 38-47 over here, but not too much on that. And you see right around that 94-second mark, 95 seconds, this is where the really interesting part comes in this match. But there's still some more to break down in this too. 148 is going to go full speed across and hit this bump right here. And you're going to notice that they're going to start to tip. And then I'm not sure if it was a driver reaction or something else, but they essentially try to immediately slow down or stop. And that momentum is going to tip them all the way over, quite unfortunately. So let's see that one more time. As the robot goes through here, we're going to play it back a little bit slower for you. Here they come. You notice that they kind of stop a little bit. So I'm not sure if the drive wheels just came off, if they're in a full brake mode and the robot just had that much momentum, or what happened to that. But really unfortunate for the Red Alliance. But notice the lead on here, 62-38. Red's got a pretty big lead and still some potential to win this match. But I'm going to be honest with you, anybody watching this live really did think that this was going to be Blue's match to win. There's no way Red Alliance is going to be maintain that lead, especially with 624 and Spectrum 3847 with their great scoring machines as well too. So something that was really interesting, talking to the drive coach in 148 after the competition was done, they told me a little bit about what happened in this conversation piece right during this time. And at this point, you're going to see in a little bit, their climbers start to move. And remember, their drive team talked to the coach and said, hey, look, climber, should we just try the climber? And they said, you know what? We got nothing left to lose. Let's do it. So you're going to see the climber start to move, and there's a little bit of life that happens. You'll see 6,800 kind of come over here in a second. You'll see that climber start to move, and then that aha moment where they figure out what goes on. Watch 148 right here. There's that arm. They start to move up a little bit. 6,800 says, all right, let's go over here. Try it again, and let's see if we can push you back over. And this is an absolute, it's just like a ballet of the right things happening at the right time. 1,600 comes over on the second attempt, a coordinated effort. 148 pushes their arm up. 1,600 pushes them over the bump, and 148 rights themselves, causing them to continue the match with a minute remaining. And you look at the score here, Red still has a bit of a lead, and now you got to be a bit worried if you're Blue going into this. You may have missed this as well too, but one other thing to mention on here is watch right when 148 gets righted. Look at this. 148's arm actually gets entangled a little bit inside of 6,800. And with that happening, actually rips out some wires to their climber, causing 1,600 not to be able to climb, but they didn't know this when this happened. You're going to see that climb start to happen here. 7616 goes to climb. But something very interesting, they're only climbed, I believe that is on the low, could be the mid, it's hard to see on here. And then you're going to see 1745, they're going to go over to climb as well. But watch 7616. At about 30 seconds left, they're going to actually abandon the climb and come down and play defense instead. A very interesting strategy. I'm not sure if they just couldn't get the climb they were looking for, as if they were trying to go something a bit more, but very, very interesting to see what happened in that. With 30 seconds left, the score now is all tied, and you're going to see Blue actually take a little bit of a lead going into that with 30 seconds left. So, like I said, a very interesting decision. I'm going to assume they had issues climbing. I didn't get a chance to talk to the Blue Alliance on that decision on there, but that's what you got to assume, right? And look on the other side. Bottom right here, you got two robots pretty much up on traversal. There goes 148. And so even though Blue's got a lead on there, it's not going to be that much for them to take this match. Now, one last thing I want to point on here. Look at Spectrum 3847 over on the left side here. 14 seconds left. They are trying to climb up. And something that if you watch the Mercury recap is that they had the robot slip off a little bit. And you're going to see that same thing happen. But here's the bigger thing. 624 is waiting to go and climb next to them, but they decided to wait until they're clear of 3847, which causes a longer delay on this. So because it takes them longer, they're not able to go where they want to. Now, Spectrum does end up getting up on this mid-rung here without having that slippage. So I'm not sure if that really did cause a big issue later on or not, but clearly only able to get up on mid-rung. But you see here that Kryptonite is starting to climb with 6 seconds left. They're not going to be able to get their traversal and climb for something like that. So they strictly go to a mid-rung. The match ends, and now you have your new champions with 148 and 1745 being able to get that traversal. 1600 not able to get the climb, but enough of a win on there, and Red Alliance becomes your champions of the Texas DCMP with a score of 112-104. Now, the last 9 matches of Texas DCMP were really exciting. From a spectator's perspective, at least, I can guess the stress that happened down the field. You know, I have friends on team members of both those alliances, all 4 of the alliances going into the finals as well, too. And I feel for those teams. I know unless you're the last 3 teams, that it does sting a little bit on there. But a sincere congrats to the winners, 1,600, 148, and 1745. And the time of this recording, if you didn't see our 1,600 interviews, go check them out. And we have another 10 teams from Texas to cover as well, too. Texas Championships, an absolutely amazing event, a good preview since it was at George R. Brown of what's to come. So can't wait to see many of these teams in just about a week's time. Good luck to all teams, and we'll see you in Houston in just a couple weeks. Thanks to Stryker Careers for their support in this video. If you are a college student or recent graduate looking for an incredible internship, take a look at Stryker. Stryker provides a housing stipend, great pay, and an opportunity to work with state-of-the-art medical technology equipment. Discover why so many First alumni are coming to Stryker for their internship or career at careers.stryker.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on our new videos. Keep the conversation going and provide your input to our content. Watch our live shows at twitch.tv/firstupdatesnow. Join our Discord at discord.gg/firstupdatesnow. And check out FUNFTC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And First Updates Now on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.